Hello and welcome back to Ted's Fish Room. The shrimp have now been in the facility for about 3 days, and today we're going to feed them for the first time and we're going to go through another round of inspections. I'm going to start off by showing you how we feed the shrimp. I feed a gel food. It's a combination of two different parts of Repashy products. Well, one is for sure a Repashy product, and that is Super Green. Super Green contains no animal proteins whatsoever and is very high in a lot of algae proteins and things like that. The other one that I use is Ted's Most Excellent. This is my own diet made for me by Repashy, and the big difference between this and some other products is that it contains no fish protein whatsoever. It's heavy in mollusk, it's heavy in crustacean, but it also has plant proteins and some fruit proteins that this diet does not have. So I'm actually going to mix those two diets 50-50, and then I'm going to present that food in these little dishes which act like little feeding stations. So let's go ahead and make some food. When you're making the Repashy food, the mixture rate is 3 parts water to 1 part dry powder by volume. And what I've got is two things here. This is the Ted's Most Excellent. I've got 1/3 cup of that. It's going to go into my mixing bowl. Set this aside. This is 1/3 cup of the Super Green. That's going to go into the mixing bowl. Set that aside. And now I'm going to measure 2 cups. I'm actually going to use a little more than 2 cups because I want this to be a little runny, of boiling water. This is fresh off the boiler. So that bottom line is 2 cups. I'm going to add a little more water. Now at this point things have to happen pretty quickly. So I'm going to pour the hot water in. And I'm going to whisk it up. Make sure I scrape the bottoms and the sides really well. Now I'm going to take this spatula and I'm going to use it to put a little bit of food in each of these little dishes. Not a lot. I really don't want to feed the shrimp a lot of food all at once. I'd rather feed them several times and let them eat everything and then come back and feed them again. So this has to happen pretty quickly because the food is going to set. Now if you're doing this yourself and the phone rings and you have to let the food down, the food will set and it can set inside this bowl. And you can do two things. One, you can just pop it out of here like it's a mold and cut it up in little cubes and just put the cubes in with the shrimp. Or you can stick this in the microwave, heat it back up, and it'll become liquid again. Now I made a lot more food than I need for these little dishes. So when I'm done filling the dishes, I'm going to pour them into these as molds, and that way I'll just be able to cut up little cubes when I need it again. I actually feed this diet to other things besides shrimp, so I don't mind having extra food. Specifically, I feed it to Plecostomus and Farluellas and things like that. Omnivorous catfish that like plant and animal protein in their diet. Lots of things will eat it. And here, so I have enough for one dish. Be a pretty full dish, but that's okay. Awesome. The food is firmly set. Now let's go put it in some aquariums. Okay, so here we have a tank full of Neocaridina blue velvet. And very carefully set my little dish down there. Now we'll wait and see how long it takes for those shrimp to find it. So that time lapse was about 5 minutes. Good number of shrimp have found the food. They really pile up on it pretty quick. This is in a 20-gallon long aquarium, so there's quite a bit of space to pull these shrimp from. But they like the food. Let's take a look at how some of the other shrimp like it. I think it's safe to say that the shrimp like the food, and they do well on it too. I like to use these little ceramic dishes because it allows me to keep track of how much they're eating and making sure I don't lose any food in the tank. Well, thank you for watching Ted's Fish Room. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is part 2 in the shrimp importation video series. Part 3 is coming up very soon.